quickly just to see what's going on. Okay. He brings down the Ramban suggests that after the rain stopped, Noach would open the window every so often to see what's going on outside. And when he saw that it was, then he realized it landed on Mount Ararat. And then he waited another 40 days to open the window again. Then he hoped that the trees and everything else was already showing. Okay. What did he do? He sent the Eidev, okay, the raven, to see what he want to see. If there was a place for him to stop by, to go. He went back and forth, going and coming, until the water dried up on the earth. Okay? Now, what did Noach want over here? He wanted to ascertain what the world is, what the Medrash says. He wanted to ascertain what the world was like, how much it settled down, and so on. Now, the raven refused to go.
First time?
First time, the raven refused to go. He said, he kept going around. He kept going around the teva. Okay? Why? Listen to this. And from here they say, by the way, the Mefarshim explained that Noach knew the languages of the birds and beasts, because he communicated with the Eidev. Now, what happened was, the Eidev didn't want to go. Why didn't the Eidev want to go? He said, I don't understand. He wants to probably be with my wife, the male and female of the tray for birds, right? So Noach probably wants to be with my wife, so he's sending me away. Why doesn't he take from the kosher animals? There's 14 of them. 7, right? There's 14. Why didn't he take and send out a kosher bird? So he probably wants, he was accusing Noach of what, so he didn't want to go. He kept going and coming back. He didn't, Why? You know what they say, an expression, if in Ganef brannte Hittel, and the Ganef the hat's burning?
Ganef has been burning?
It's a Yiddish expression, if in Ganef brannte Hittel. It means on the Ganef and the thief, the hat is burning. What's that expression mean? There's a story. A bunch of people were there, and somebody stole something, and they couldn't figure out who it was, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden the rabbi screamed out that the hat of the Ganef is burning. So right away, God put his hand on his head, so you knew he was the guilty one. Okay? Now, 3 things had relations in the ark. Remember, we learned nobody was allowed to have relations in the ark. Right. 3 things did. Chum, the raven, and the dog. These are the 3 things. And each one was punished, by the way. Chum, therefore, his skin turned brown and all that stuff. And dogs is also because they were punished. Kelev Namak, that after relations, he's still connected to the female, and it's embarrassing. And it's interesting that the children of the raven come through the mouth. Whatever, that's what the Medrash says. Bottom line is, the Eidev obviously wasn't honest, because he did something in the Teva he didn't want to do. So when Noach sent him out, he was fearful that Noach wanted to be with his Mrs. Eidev. So that's why he said, he didn't really go on the shlichus. He just, like Rashi says, this is Gemara Sanhedrin. Rashi brings down, the Eidev didn't want to go out. He was afraid Noach was going to do something. Okay. So it says now, But the Mefarshim say, by the way, they don't know exactly what was the reason why he sent a raven first. Could be because he sinned. Maybe that's why he wanted to send them out first. I don't know. Even though it's important, it says to see if the air was dry enough for the raven to endure it. And he said why? Ravens feed on carrying a man and beast. If the raven would bring back some, he would know that the water descended enough for the raven to have found some meat on the ground. So, now, also...
That's what he's sending the raven?
Right. So now the Gemara asks, but why did he send the raven? Because if something happens to the raven, there's no more ravens in the world because there's only 2 ravens. So the Gemara answers, because the raven was